UC San Diego and Scripps Institution of Oceanography launched the new Climate Change Center on Monday. The cross-disciplinary team will focus on finding ways to adapt to climate change in our region and beyond. Here with what that may look like is my guest, Scripps Institution of Oceanography Director Margaret Leinen. And Margaret, there's no building attached to this new center. Why go with this decentralized approach?
The most important thing in this area is not only climate impacts and adaptation, but how interdisciplinary they are. It's going to require an approach that includes engineering, social science, economics, policy, etc. And so we don't want to create another set of walls by putting people in a separate building or pushing them away from everyone else. We really want everyone at UCSD to work with us on this challenging problem.
So logistically, how will that work? Will there be teams or phone calls, or do we know yet?
We're still working on it, but I think that we'll certainly have teams of people. Within a university, there's lots of collaboration, and we have a lot of expertise at doing that. But this is a larger scale, involving more of the university.
Well, now, I understand that the center is moving beyond proving that climate change exists or its likely consequences and actually going on to adaptation strategies. Could you give us a few examples or some ideas of some things scientists might make practically or come up with as far as adaptation strategies here in San Diego?
Sure. One of the things that we're concerned about is sea level rise. So every California coastal community has to have a sea level rise adaptation plan. But the question is, how much do we have to plan for, and what's going to happen? And that's an area where Scripps oceanographers have been doing work for a long time to understand the impacts of erosion on coastal cliffs, or seawater coming up during flooding times, and being able to give San Diego planners information about the specific levels of challenge that they'll have will be very valuable.
And that might work out to, oh, we need a seawall here, or we need reinforcement here, or we need roads built here, things like that?
Or even more important, what do we do with our sewer system? Or what about the buildings in downtown San Diego? Are their basements going to flood with big storms or not? Those kinds of questions can really help us avoid a lot of trouble.
So why move forward on this now, adapting to climate change instead of waiting for later? Why today?
It's because we already see the impacts of climate change. We haven't seen much sea level rise here, but if we were in Fort Lauderdale or Norfolk, Virginia, or even Louisiana, we'd be definitely seeing it. So let's get prepared. If it's happening elsewhere, it's likely to happen here too.
What are you doing as far as public education and outreach through this center? Is that part of the program?
It's definitely part of the program. And it's important that people are aware of what's coming and have a lot of time to plan for it. So that means that our outreach people, our education experts, can work with us to bring that message not only to planners or government officials, but to the rest of us who are sitting back there saying, how soon do I have to worry about this?
Now, you're actually looking for a director for the center. I know that's underway, and there are other job openings as well. Can you give us an idea of what kinds of people you're looking for those jobs?
We have 8 new faculty positions that are associated with the center. Each one of them will be an interdisciplinary position between 2 different fields. So, for example, we'll have people that work in human health and climate change impacts. So they might work with Scripps oceanography, they might work with engineering. Then we'll also have positions in the area of ecosystems, marine ecosystems. That's certainly one of our strengths, but also land ecosystems. How are they going to change, and what will that do to agriculture, forestry, you know, our backyards and so forth.
Sure, some new opportunities there.
And then we have positions that will fill in the area of hazards. So we've been talking about some hazards, sea level rise, drought, flood, those sorts of things. And policy, how does that work? And then finally, we'll also have positions that are in sensors or measurements or observations. How do we quantify this and make sure that we're accurate about it?
So a real broad spectrum,
Yes.
and they can look it up on the website there for as far as more information on that. Scripps Institution of Oceanography's Margaret Leinen, thank you so much.
You're welcome.